welcome to Worst Retirement Ever. We're here in Bellingham to do the Mount Baker hill climb. I've been wanting to do a hill climb here for years. Today's the day, well tomorrow's the day. First we're gonna do a little tourism. I like to inject some tourism into my videos with Chuck and Nut Drive. Hey, what's up? Hey guys. I'm Phil Gaimon. I was a pro cyclist for 10 years, racing all over the world. Now I'm retired, but I'm not done suffering on my bike, climbing mountains as fast as I can, and going on crazy adventures. I couldn't be the best at racing, and I'm definitely the worst at retiring. Welcome to Worst Retirement Ever. Our host for the tourism aspect of this video is my friend Patrick Laird, who, if you don't know, you should. Patrick is one of two, you and your wife are the Brooklyn duo. We met and you visited LA and hit me up, and we realized that like Patrick is the classical music version of me. Where like I kind of came out of this like here's what you're supposed to do as a pro cyclist, and here's the teams, and here's the gatekeepers, and like I didn't find success until I did my own thing. Patrick is a YouTuber cellist. How many million subscribers?
1.4 now.
1.4 million subscribers.
Yeah, well, we're classical musicians, so piano and cello, but we do a lot of popular music covers.
Yeah.
And we'll play anything under the sun, and we just put our heart into it, and that's about it.
So you could like audition for whatever symphony orchestra and do what you're told, and that's what you're supposed to do, but instead
right.
You like cover pop songs and people like it, and the internet said yes.
Yeah,
and,
it's much more fun making videos and doing your own thing. I think.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. We're on the same page.
Yeah, you don't know this about me, but I do play the cello. Do you have one? Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said
I don't play the cello.
All right.
I don't play a fucking cello.
Well, I mean, maybe you don't want to. Maybe I'll take this.
Don't touch
Actually,
that.
might be.
Okay.
Maybe this one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That thing is carbon fiber, by the way. Look at that. Is that a factor? Why is it carbon fiber? Is there an advantage to carbon? I guess.
Yeah. So wood cellos, the wood of the instrument will expand and contract with humidity and all that stuff. And cellists oftentimes travel a lot, and you're traveling to different places, and they found that carbon fiber resonates pretty well. There are still wood pieces, so there's a sound post in there. There's a piece of wood that goes from the top to the bottom of the inside of the cello, and then the bridge. And they resonate normally as wood, but then the rest of the cello is resonant enough as carbon fiber.
We know from bottom bracket creaking that carbon resonates very well.
Yeah, exactly. So it works really well, and it holds its, it stays in tune when you're traveling, and it doesn't, if you go to like with wood cello sometimes, especially with like bows, like the bows are carbon fiber too, even though it looks wood. That's fake. Yeah, and they're just really reliable. You can put them under the plane. That's why we have them.
You have all the cello KOMs. Patrick has a lot of road KOMs and also the cello KOMs.
Oh yeah.
Bellingham, we cruised around downtown a little bit last night, had some delicious tacos, cool coffee shops, some bars. It feels like college town, vibey, some good hippie shit, but not too much hippie shit. Doesn't feel like Boulder yet. Bellingham, we are a stone's throw from Canada and Vancouver, right?
Yeah. We're in between Seattle and Vancouver, and a little bit closer to Vancouver.
Okay.
So yeah, really in a great part of the town.
How gnarly is the winter up here? What are we talking?
Well, it's actually pretty. We don't get a lot of snow here.
I don't believe you.
Well, there's Mount Baker, where you're going tomorrow. Gets the record snowfall.
The most snowfall ever.
I think in North America. Or
whatever.
We have some record.
Regardless, the record is far too much for me.
But down here, kind of closer to the bay, it's all rain. We get a lot of rain.
You get a lot of rain. Okay. Yeah. We got lucky today.
We did.
See you guys. Patrick, my understanding is that Bellingham is like more of a mountain bike spot than a road bike spot, but I only brought the road bike. We're just doing road today. But Chuck and Nut Drive is a ride that I've heard of. Tell me where we're going today.
Well, we're going to do the quintessential Bellingham ride, so they call it the Rabbit Ride. Happens every Sunday, and it's just a beautiful route. We're going to do an addition of an island, to go out on an island for a little bit, and then we go up through a lake, some good climbs, and of course the famous Chuck and Nut Drive overlooking the the ocean.
Yeah, so we got Bellingham Bay here. Right, give me a little geography. Where are we?
So we are in the south side of the city. So we're near Fairhaven, which is this beautiful sort of like cafe and restaurant themed town, and then there's downtown main Bellingham, which is north of here, and everything is sort of on the bay. Everything kind of surrounds the bay here, and then out there is Lummi Island, and then all the rest of the San Juan Islands kind of protecting us from the elements.
Got it. I brought the selfie stick, but that will not be on today. As you can see, we're not using that. I have a professional videographer. Sam Smith is behind the camera. Sam did I think the first 30 or maybe more episodes of Worst Retirement Ever. And so Sam's back. He lived in Portland, so we got Sam to sneak up. He also did All Behind the Barriers. Sam's a legend, so we're stoked to have that video and be back together, reunited. It feels good. Right, Sam? All right, here we are. It is race day, early start. Even the Home 2 Suites by Hilton. They had free coffee. All right, so Mount Baker has been on my Strava starred KOM list for many years. When I first started Worst Retirement Ever, the thing was going after the doper KOMs, and Levi Leipheimer has the Mount Baker segment. So that was started for a long time. I didn't know there was an event here, and there's not that many Hillclimbs events, so I wanted to do that. What's sort of a bummer is that the segment that Levi has is kind of the second half of the race. The beginning of the race, it's all uphill, but the beginning is uphill, downhill, flat-ish, and then you get to the real climb is the last 40 something minutes. So there's going to be some tactics, there's going to be a pack, there's going to be some drafting and some, you pull through, no, you pull through, which is my favorite thing on the planet. But then it'll get to the switchback part. So it's going to be a decision, do I try to set my best time or do I try to win the race? And obviously it has to be the latter. So that's the situation. So I might not be able to snipe the segment as I want to. We're going in dry. I have not done recon. I tried the other day and drove all the way out here and forgot my shoes and helmet and drove back. So that means that we're just gonna fly in blind. I'm told it's super beautiful. That's kind of a given. It's a volcano. It's an active volcano. Which, does that scare you? People who live near volcanoes?
I haven't seen it go up, but
well, no, but you wouldn't is the thing. We're not far from Mount St. Helens. It's all the same. I don't know. It's an active volcano. I just feel like that's worth mentioning.
Pretty scary.
Thank you. Yes, volcanoes are very scary. I really struggled to decide which bike to bring for this, because it's flat. The flat part, removing a pack element, the disc brake bike that's more aero, the O2 VAM, would be faster. But I think on the final part, this bike would be faster, the rim brake with all the carbon dorkiness. And so honestly, I think it's kind of a 50-50 trade-off of what we should do. But ultimately I decided, if I don't ride my hill climb bike at the one hill climb I do, then what am I even doing with my life? So I had to bring, otherwise this dorky bike just hangs on the wall all year. So here we are. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Can I see how light this is?
No, you wouldn't let me touch your cello.
They give you all these things that you are so unaero that on the ski to see on the on the TT bikes.
Yeah,
they have these flapping.
It's the flappy. The thing is a lot of these events, my own included, have 11 different timing chips and a helmet sticker and a front plate.
It's crazy.
So this is sort of merciful that there's just this one sticker with a chip in the back for the seat post.
Do you want me to hold it?
This is pretty clean.
Are you good?
I think I can handle it.
Okay.
So he mentioned the Ski to See, which is the bigger event they put on here. So Ski to See, correct me when I'm wrong, this is a super cool, weird, I'd never heard of this, but it's they get thousands of people, but it's a relay, and it starts at the top of Mount Baker. So there's a cross-country ski, and then they switch guys, and then it's a downhill ski, and then someone runs the 9 miles down the last part of the climb, and then someone rides a bicycle. That was your leg. You've done it, right?
Yep.
For the 40 miles, falls flat downhill, where, like into Bellingham almost.
It goes to the Nooksack River, and then the canoe guys take it over.
There's a canoe.
Yeah, and then
I lost count. That's 4.
I think that's 5.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they go to like a gravel bike sort of course, and then that goes on to kayak. So it's awesome, and like the biggest event probably.
Where's the swimmer? Why isn't there a swimmer?
That's the weirdest thing, right? There's no swimming.
Okay, well,
in this, and
I
it's a
hate
perfect
swimming
time
too,
of
so
year
I
for
respect
swimming.
it.
I don't know why.
But that sounds awesome.
It's a cool event.
If you don't want to do the hill climb, if you're more of a downhill person, highly recommend checking that out. So you can see this is a mass start event. That's a lot harder to put on versus a time trial kind of format. It's kind of 50-50 in hill climbs, but they were able to close the entire road, which does make this event pretty special. I mentioned I was worried about the very beginning being kind of flat and potentially tactical, but that turned out to not be a problem. There were a couple of super strong riders kind of swapping poles. The majority of it was a dude named Rob Watson, who I talked to after. Canadian marathon, 13th at World Championships, multi-time Canadian national champion, around 40 years old, but an absolute beast. He set a pace at the beginning that no one was going to go around him, no one was going to try and attack that, and everyone was sort of just either happy to keep the tempo or hanging on for dear life was definitely plenty of them. He single-handedly, I would say, brought it down to like 30 guys. And then I went on, there was a couple ramps. There was it was 3%, and then sort of in the middle of the, right, like a fourth of the way through the event was one kind of steeper ramp. So I sort of attacked there just to thin out a little bit and brought it down to 5 guys, at which point Rob basically just took back over the pacemaking and kept the speed high. You can see in my power, I was able to conserve pretty efficiently the first half and hide in the pack a good bit. So it's just beautiful open road, mostly pine trees, just kind of winding and twisting. There's a river to our right. Apparently there's a salmon run. I forgot if I mentioned the salmon run, but the pink salmon were running. All the locals explained that to us. You also see we're passing the folks from the early categories. The recreational category went off early, so we're kind of cool like to get cheered on during the event by the other groups, including the people in hot dog costumes. It was awesome. They let our camera car, Patrick was driving the car with Sam filming, they let them go ahead so we could get some good footage here. Tricky to film sort of during a race like this. And then as we got to the climb proper, now it's 6% instead of 3, and I decided to take over. I attacked a couple times. You can see in my power file again, took a couple little surges to sort of be solo. I didn't want to give anyone a free ride on my wheel, but at some point I kind of got away and just kept the pace up. Good speed here, but I am hurting. You can tell I'm pedaling squares a little bit. Here folks hollering my name as I went by. That helped. Thank you to whoever did that. So the first half I averaged around like 300 watts, and then this bit, once we're on the main climb, the switchbacks, it was 365 for the last 40 minutes, which not my best effort, but super solid. It was kind of tricky here because I knew I had a lead on the other folks, but I keep looking back. I couldn't tell, who I've passed recently in the competitive category or who's coming up behind me. It was one of those, like, for all I knew, Rob was gaining on me, but I'm looking back and seeing people, I just can't tell what category it is, who it was. I had a comfortable lead-ish, but on one of the hairpins I was able to look back and figure out the front group. That's me looking down and seeing the other category. Beautiful, incredible views up here. This is really the first time I'm enjoying it, is doing the voiceover.
A little more gas.
As usual, as it got a little bit steeper in some of the switchbacks, that's where I stand up. I try to kind of take a little pressure off and use a slightly different muscle group. I sort of see that as acceleration for for the speed, but slight muscle recovery. Then I get back down to grind more. If it looks like I'm close to the car, there's a thing called a zoom lens. I promise I'm not drafting. You can tell it gets farther away. I did not want assist from the camera car.
Go. Perfect.
Beautiful shots here.
Perfect. Yeah, go through it and...
We got lucky with the weather. Everyone told me the weather was really bad here. I think they were all lying. And there's the finish. A big bump thing I posted up after. Didn't want to pull a Mount Washington crash across the finish line. That was fun. Thanks, guys. There's Mount Baker, huh? It's scary too because you look up and there's like more switchbacks. It's like, I think that's the end according to this, but I'm in big trouble if it keeps going there. What's up?
Can I shake your hand, Phil? I've been riding around LA following you for years.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Following all the way up here, huh?
Well,
Where you live in LA?
I just moved up to Bellingham this year, but I lived Santa Monica and Playa del Rey for 10 years.
There he is. Holy
Great job, man.
Rob, thank you.
Good job, buddy. Great work.
Dude.
Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
Good job.
When you win, it was like,
See you later.
yeah.
So what, like Woodsy's coaching business or?
Yeah, I'm the head of Mile to Marathon Vancouver.
Oh,
And I
awesome.
worked with Woodsy to build that. I'm an ex-pro runner, so
Okay,
yeah, I know him from
that
way
makes
back
sense.
in the
You
day.
knew him from the running days.
Yeah, way back in the day.
He dropped Mike Woods' name at the bottom of the climb, and I was like, oh, now I'm very scared of you, but I also like you at the same time.
There we go. Respect.
That's a scary and a perfect name to drop.
Oh man.
We're doing a whiskey thing at the Chuckanut Distillery tonight.
Okay.
If you're in that neighborhood.
Thank you so much.
That's a great driver's license photo in your picture. That's like,
I'm not blonde anymore.
I look
so
like a
it's a little
terrorist
weird.
in mine. Is there food? You don't know. Why would you know any of that? I'm gonna go look around. What's up?
Get your fill.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna get in there. I drove this thing twice.
What do you have to say about like the community of bikers that you got to meet today?
Everybody's so nice and cool. Yeah, no, this is like, I mean, people who ride bikes are all awesome, and this is just a good collection of them.
Totally.
Yeah, they do a great job here.
That's all I got for you, Phil.
Cheers.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I saw that carbon. Is it what do you call it? A cello?
Yeah.
Is it cello? Yeah. You're so tall, dude. It's like elevation 5,400 here, 6,000 right here.
Yeah. It's tough for to breathe up here. You know,
Oh
so
man.
You gotta give down.
Well, if you ever drop anything, I'm your guy.
Nice. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
So I won the race, and more importantly, it turns out I did get the KOM for Mount Baker from Levi Leipheimer, so that's a segment I had starred for 8 years, and everything worked out. Beautiful trip, love Bellingham, love the event, Mount Baker. Check that out. Check out the ski to sea to sea is from the snow to the water. Check out all that. Get an excuse to get to Bellingham. We finished it at Chuckanut Bay Distillery. I did have an old fashioned, which is why I don't know what I'm talking about. And but they gave me this gift bag, which unfortunately contains a T-shirt and not a bottle of whiskey. I mean, I appreciate the T-shirt, but I was hoping they hand you this and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a bottle. But everybody was super cool here. It's a really nice trip, and see y'all next time. Thanks. Thank you, Sam. Not.